Panasonic, you're just not cutting it anymore. Toyota wants more control over their batteries, and they're buying out Panasonic out of one of their joint ventures. And in this video, we're going to go down the rabbit hole of Toyota and their batteries, at least at this moment in time. We'll also talk about their cars, specifically the Prius being the most eco-friendly car on the face of the planet. We'll also talk about the new CHR, which is just launched in Europe. Grab your snacks and drinks and buckle in. If you're excited for what could come out of Toyota having more control of their batteries, smash the like button, subscribe for more. And let's get into this. Toyota Motor Corporation strengthens battery production capabilities, shedding the dead weight that was Panasonic for this joint venture. This joint venture, Prime Earth EV and Energy, has been around since the mid-90s, and Toyota owned only 40% of this joint venture when it started. Then in 2005, Toyota bought a bunch more of the company, and the reason is because Panasonic had just bought Sanyo at the time, and they thought it was going to be kind of like a monopoly situation. In 2010, the company was renamed Prime Earth EV Energy Co. And Toyota has owned this company 80% since 2010, and Panasonic's just kind of been this dead weight in my opinion. Look how outdated their website is for this joint venture between Toyota and Panasonic. This is unacceptable. It has not been updated for eons. If I look at the news portion, the last news update we had was in 2018. It looks like I'm stuck in the 90s right now with these graphs and just the overall layout. Don't think that Toyota is completely done with Panasonic. In fact, they still work very closely together. They started a second joint venture called Prime Planet Energy and Solutions. In 2020, they started working together for the second joint venture. But the appetite for Toyota's batteries cannot be met by Prime Planet Energy and Solutions, which my understanding mainly operates just out of Japan. And as far as I know, Panasonic might not actually be involved at all with Toyota's battery manufacturing plant in North Carolina that is going online in 2025. And that plant will have 14 production lines, including 4 supporting production for hybrids, 10 supporting production for battery electric vehicles, and plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. So plug-in hybrids and BEVs in North America are going to explode in volume for Toyota, as well as more availability for their hybrids. They're only assembling lithium-ion batteries, no lithium iron phosphate. In fact, former joint venture between Toyota and Panasonic, Toyota has a lot of battery technology that Panasonic, yes, is helping with their next-gen EV platform, but I don't know if Panasonic is going to be working on their LFP batteries for their next-gen platform to make more affordable electric cars for the masses. So maybe this is another step saying, hey, we're just going to take this over. We have bigger and grander plans that Panasonic can't just help us with anymore. So they're shedding that dead weight. That's how I see it, of Panasonic with this outdated joint venture, right? The new joint venture, Prime Planet Energy Solutions, they've been supplying batteries for the battery electric BZ4X and the Lexus RZ, as well as maybe some of their plug-in hybrids too, like the RAV4 Prime and Prius Prime. So back to the original press release here, TMC has agreed with Panasonic to make Prime Earth EV Energy a wholly owned subsidiary in order to strengthen its capabilities in mass producing automotive batteries. And this is going to happen in late March. This is happening quick. We know Tesla likes to be very vertically integrated, but outside of the plant in Texas, they don't make most of their batteries. Panasonic makes most of the batteries through a joint venture in Nevada. Toyota is saying, yeah, Panasonic, we love to have you as one of our partners, but we can do it on our own as well. Kind of what Tesla is doing right there in Texas, right? So these hybrid batteries that this joint venture had been working on, Toyota, like I said, not good enough. So they're going to convert PEVE. I know it's not a good acronym in my opinion, but They're producing batteries for BEVs and PHEVs. It is a departure from only hybrids with Panasonic. The company is shifting into mass producing a wide variety of electric vehicle batteries, which will enable Toyota to respond flexibly to growing battery demand. Like I mentioned, LFP or lithium iron phosphate batteries could be on the docket here. Don't forget, November 2nd, 2022, Panasonic started breaking ground on their plant in Kansas, DeSoto, Kansas. It's going to supply 30 gigawatt hours, which is around 400,000 battery electric vehicles per year, which they will be able to supply. Now, Toyota could tap into this plant if they want to, but it looks like Toyota said, hey, we're pretty sure we're going to do this on our own more and more going forward. And remember, Toyota has so many patents on solid state battery technology. They have patents on bipolar batteries as well that no one else seems to be doing right now. We know Toyota has nickel metal hydride bipolar batteries, but they also have plans for lithium iron phosphate bipolar batteries, which will make their EVs way cheaper. Think of like the BZ4X, but cost quite a bit less with better range too. I mean, BZ4X, I shouldn't even mention that vehicle. For Toyota, it's not that good of an electric vehicle, but that's just like stage one for them, which was not a very good starting point, in my opinion. They can only improve from there, and maybe leaving Panasonic in the dust to an extent is a part of that plan so they can really stretch their legs with their own battery technology. Shifting gears, this is a study by ACEEE, another weird acronym. They come up with the Greener Cars Annual Assessment seemingly every year. They look at the full life cycle from ground to recyclability at the end of its life to see which cars are the most eco-friendly and the most fuel efficient or energy efficient. And also they look at emissions from fuel burned. They look at upstream emissions generated by electricity. They also look at emissions produced when mining and processing minerals for batteries and emissions from manufacturing vehicles and vehicle components. And so they have this greenest list here, the most healthy cars that you can buy new from the factory. And here we go, the Prius Prime. And interestingly, the Prius is not on this list, but I would assume since, let's say, the Camry hybrid as well as the Corolla hybrid on here, that the Prius is probably up in the top 10 as well, right up there with the Prius Prime. But the Prius Prime has the highest green score by quite a bit. Starting MSRP is quite low, and estimated annual fuel cost is next to that. Interestingly, the Lexus RZ is also very sustainable, more sustainable seemingly than Tesla's, but I don't know if Teslas are even on this list. It doesn't seem like they are. It doesn't seem like they're putting maybe startup companies like Tesla or Rivian in here, but they do factor in the rest of the automakers seemingly. Mini Cooper EV, Nissan Leaf EV, BZ4X, which is very similar to the RZ, right? What differentiates these two vehicles? Well, the RZ only has those Panasonic batteries, where the BZ4X has CATL batteries alongside of Panasonic batteries, depending on front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and depending on the market too. RAV4 Prime is in the top 10 as well. Hyundai Elantra gas hybrid. I really appreciated that vehicle. Watch my review on the Elantra hybrid. I didn't review the blue model, but I reviewed, I think it was the limited. Hyundai Kona, one of my favorite little electric vehicles, can be had very affordably. But the problem is you can get used Ioniq 5s and Ioniq 6s for a better price that have much more power and range. If this vehicle is about $25,000, it's game over, but it's about $8-9 grand too much. Camry hybrid in there, EV6 from Kia, Corolla hybrid, and Ioniq 5 in there as well. Watch my review on the Ioniq 6 that I posted last night. These are runner-ups for very healthy vehicles for the environment as well. We have the Accord hybrid, Nero hybrid, Mitsubishi Mirage. Well, it has a tiny gasoline engine, doesn't weigh anything, costs very little to fuel. Lexus ES hybrid, NX hybrid, Ford Maverick hybrid. Love that little pickup truck and its efficiency. Sienna hybrid, and the list goes on, right? They also came up with a top 12 list of the vehicles that are worst for the environment, with Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon G63 being the least eco-friendly vehicle for the planet that you can buy today, followed by the TRX, Raptor R, Escalade V, Durango SRT, just any Jeep Jeeps are terrible for the environment, seemingly. Grand Wagoneers are bad, and then a bunch of Mercedes. Well, here's an EV that's also, we know, is really bad for the environment because it has about a Corolla and maybe even more worth of batteries and weight, and then it's just terrible for the environment. It's gaudy. The Z06 is not good for the environment. It's a race car. What do you expect? So very interesting. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the CHR here. The CHR is no longer available in North America. We get the Corolla Cross instead, even though the Corolla Cross is also available in Europe. But the CHR is now this cute, like lifted Prius looking thing. It's extremely radical with its design, but they have 3 powertrains for it. They have the 1.8 liter hybrid with 140 horsepower. They have the 200 horsepower 2-liter engine setup that we see in the Prius and the Corolla Cross. They also have the plug-in hybrid that we see in the Prius Prime with 220 horsepower, but still only front wheel drive here. 66 kilometers of electric range. When I did my conversions, it comes out to be around 35, 36 on the EPA cycle for miles. I think it would be awesome to have this in the United States, but you know, since they're able to produce the Corolla Cross here stateside, that is the vehicle. I mean, this thing looks way more interesting than the Corolla Cross. I think most of you would agree. It's just really, really small, and it has limited functionality. How well it would do here, I don't know, but I still see CHRs everywhere where I live, even though they were only sold for just a small amount of time with no hybrid option here in the United States. But really cool tech in here. And man, look, the door handle stuck into the body. That's pretty next level. Is there any other There's no other Toyota that I'm aware of that does that. Let me know down below. The BZ4X doesn't have door handles that suck into the side. I'm not going to, like the Lexus LC, of course, has that, but very few models that have door handles that are flush with the body here. But anyways, I'm going to end it there. Toyota going their own way, making batteries all to themselves, shedding the dead skin that is Panasonic with this joint venture, and focusing on offering new batteries that Panasonic seemingly just couldn't do, and plug-in hybrid style and fully battery electric style. So it's gonna be fun to see what kind of differences we see in terms of availability with hybrids and plug-in hybrids and battery electric vehicles coming out of Japan. Remember, this joint venture is only in Japan, and we would see these batteries put into Lexus and Toyota cars that are imported into America. But I feel like the writing was on the wall when Toyota decided to make their own battery plant with, I think, Toyota Tsusho, which is a wholly owned Toyota subsidiary, right? So it's really only Toyota that I'm aware of here in North Carolina, and Toyota is going more and more independent, and Panasonic playing a lesser role with Toyota's batteries probably than ever before. So anyways, I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day and peace.